What's going on, guilty guys and gals? It's trial time. Trial 2, to be precise. We're gonna find out who iced our dear friend Kokoro. That might be a bit too on the nose. But first we're going to watch them navigate menus. Never mind, we're starting. Firstly, allow me to briefly explain the rules of this class trial. We know this. It's decided by your vote. If you manage to correctly identify the killer, they receive punishment. If you vote incorrectly, everybody else dies. To think that we'd return to this place. But now that we're in here, we have no choice but to win through this. So let's get through this mess with everyone. Now then, begin your discussion. We're looking for the person who killed Kokoro. Thanks, Yuki. Very helpful. Where should we start? I honestly have no idea. Everyone, there's something I first need to tell you. I honestly don't have any clue what happened at all. Everyone, please, don't ignore me.
Mikado, you got some nerve to speak to us right now.
Is it just me, or is my identity slowly fading out of existence? I said this before, and I must repeat myself, since it's only getting worse, but you can ignore me in everyday life, but you must listen to me during the trials. I, for one, did my fair share of the investigation, and I would love to help solve this case with you guys. Got some nerve, eh? I agree. We need to listen to Mikado. Is it alright? It's not like Mikado can let us fail the class trial considering the stakes. And even testimony coming from a person like him is still important. Ah, what a woman you are, Sora! But most importantly, he could potentially be the Blackened. And though he might be a worthless, no better than a piece of trash, I'm going to change that to trash, scum, he still might have found an important piece of evidence. Break! If Sora says so, I guess it'll be fine. Now that it's come to this, I'll show you my ultimate piece of evidence to restore your trust in me. Ultimate piece of evidence? Did you already solve the case? Well, no, not yet. That's a little bit ridiculous, don't you think?
Shut up! You're making all of us lose focus.
Agreed. Well, like Sora said, we shouldn't completely ignore him, but I doubt it'll be any help, so let us proceed. Now, back to the start. Why don't we go over the overall flow of what happened? Kokoro would have done so, just like last time. Yeah, without Kokoro, we have nobody to rely on other than ourselves. Don't worry, sis. I'm here for you. Guys, cheer up. We can do this. For Kokoro.
Alrighty. Then, summary of the case.
I mean, it's easier said than done. How should we do this? Let's first talk about the situation just before discovering Kokoro's body. Summary of the case. That's where we started last time. I still don't have a clue on who's the culprit, but we should find the solution if we cooperate. Down, 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 down. Nice. I'm still impressed that they managed to pull off a real class trial. So we found the dead body around lunchtime. Just like rubbing the cursor on Yuki's face. Sora, Teruya, and I went to her to bring her lunch. But there was no answer from Kokoro. And we became anxious about her. And then I heard the commotion and joined you. So I called Monocro to open the door. And when I entered, Kokoro was found dead.
That would mean that Kokoro died around lunchtime.
Well, there's the thing we shoot.
We should talk about our alibis during that time.
The Monocro file said something about Kokoro's body. It had many other suspicious details as well. Let's discuss this further. I kind of like how you can actually just, like, skip around. That's almost nicer than actual Danganronpa. We have to watch the whole thing over and over while the timer's ticking down. Wait. Huh. Do you get points after everything? What is happening? I guess the other person must have cut that part out. That's kind of weird. No, Shinji, we can't be sure of that.
Why so? If the body was found at that time...
Just because we found the body during lunchtime doesn't mean that Kokoro died then. Even the monochrome file says so. The time of death is unknown. Speaking of which, the monochrome file this time isn't very helpful, is it? Probably because the body was frozen. Even professional police forces and doctors have a hard time determining the time of death for frozen bodies. But if the time of death is unknown, then doesn't that mean that there's still a possibility she really did die during lunchtime? Certainly a possibility, but it's probably pretty low.
I guess this is what we should be talking about. When did Kokoro actually die?
Wait, do we really need to? What?
The culprit's already clear as day.
What? Nikkei, you know the culprit? Who is it? Who's the blackened?
Yuruko. Need I say more?
Yes!
Huh?
Is she just gonna get blamed for everything?
Kokoro's culprit. Wait, not this again! Why is it always me?
But you're the one who gave Kokoro her breakfast this morning, right? Come on, Nikkei. That's the only period of time that anyone would get a chance at Kokoro.
What?
He certainly has a point. She was already dead when the Sora crew had arrived during lunchtime. So, the mealtime right before then is the most suspicious, and Yuruko was the one who visited her then.
Wait, how would I have killed her? I was with Teruya that time.
She's right. The whole point of me joining every visit was so that nobody would try to kill Kokoro while she was sick. She was sick.
So that would mean that you're on the same boat.
What?
So, you mean accomplices?
But there's no gain in becoming an accomplice. And Teruya's not a void, so he wouldn't commit a murder in the first place.
Are we actually sure about that, though? Sure, the chance he's a void is low. But that's all. In the end, Mikado brought him here, right? I honestly thought it was ridiculous to trust a stranger so naively like that.
That's crazy! I'm a kidnapped victim brought here because of Mikado. Nikkei, you're one to talk. Suddenly pressing others as the culprit, I'd say you're acting quite suspicious.
Just think about it. There are no periods of time for the murder if those two aren't in it together. Sure, there are no incentives for accomplices, but Monocro didn't outright deny the possibility.
You... No good reporter. Guys, say something!
Yuruko, I know how you feel, but he does have a point.
What?
We need to discuss this more, but
Considering the order of people that visited Kokoro, it shouldn't be weird that Teruya and Yuruko seem suspicious. But we need to talk about it more.
Why is it always me?
Dun 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 dun.
oh, I see. That's a video file.
Yuruko's account, cut off hands and feet, Kokoro's notebook.
Why am I the culprit?
Considering the order, the time when you went is the only possible time for the crime.
I was with her, and she didn't do anything suspicious.
Like Nikkei said, there's a possibility of you two being accomplices.
Kokoro ate her meals up until last night. And the body was found this lunch. So, if something happened to Kokoro, it would have been during this morning. These two don't have alibis in the first place, and there's no other person who's suspicious.
And are Teruya and Yuruko really the culprits? I need to present evidence to show their innocence. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, it's Nikkei's last statement. I can't remember who has an alibi. Wait, was that her voice? I don't think I've ever heard it before somehow. That's weird. I'm gonna save after every segment. I guess. I mean, why not?
if we're talking about alibis, I have one, Nikkei.
Sora?
Yuruko said it herself. She went to the village right after she left to practice cooking.
Yeah, when there was no answer, we left the meal on her doorstep. And Yuruko went straight to the village. Said she was practicing cooking these days.
Any evidence backing your claim?
Well, I did meet a couple people on the way there.
A couple few.
I saw her. You were cooking some stew, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. Morning stew? Whatever. There are plenty of witnesses. If Yuruko went straight to the village afterwards, there would have been no time for murder.
Yuruko, I can understand, but what about Teruya? He entered Kokoro's room every visit. There could have been plenty of chances for him to kill her. Kokoro said she'd open the door only when 2 or more people came to visit her. Thus, under normal circumstances, if anyone entered Kokoro's room to kill her, then we're dealing with more than one culprit.
Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. Does anybody have a way to record voices? I wonder. Anyway, now that Yuruko's alibi is confirmed, it would have been impossible for Teruya to kill Kokoro on his own. Thus, the theory of Yuruko and Teruya being accomplices is disproven. Of course. I won't give up so easily. No, that alone isn't going to suffice as a valid alibi. The evidence in Kokoro's room supports it. Look at Sora. What? Sorry, but as a reporter, it's my job. It's my instinct to pursue every last detail of what I find suspicious. So let me present you this evidence and see if you can retaliate. I know he's being rude, but you know what? I gotta admire Nikkei for at least being thorough. Right? Because a lot of times, the people I get the maddest with are the people who don't do anything in the trials. Okay, hold on. Also, nice spelling of tedious. Anyway, this part was so tedious to add subtitle. Oh, never mind. This is the actual guy. So post translations in the description. Oh, well that's... I guess that's fair. I couldn't really read this the last time I watched one of these anyway. So I guess we'll get the gist after the bow segment. I'm imagining Nikkei is saying something about... I don't know. What would he even be talking about? I mean, they could have added subtitles for Sora. Oh, well. I'll remember that for next time. Not even this part? Come on. Okay, well, we got him. God, I think the video is about to end. I have to switch to the other one now. Okay, let's see what Sora has to say.
No, Nikkei, if you're saying that Yuruko used the liquid nitrogen to freeze Kokoro, that's wrong.
What are you talking about? You saw the empty drum barrel of liquid nitrogen in the room as plain as day.
If she really used that to freeze Kokoro, there would have been some traces left somewhere in the room. But nothing in the room had frozen traces on it. Kokoro's corpse is the only thing that was frozen. Right, Setsuka?
Yup, no traces of that liquid nitrogen. So, no traces means that that liquid nitrogen was probably never used.
Maybe she could have frozen Kokoro in some other room before bringing her back in.
That'd have taken a significant amount of time. Nikkei's proposition was that the crime could have been done in a short time. If Yuruko, our supposed murderer, had taken time moving the body like that, that wouldn't explain how she was able to arrive at the village so early.
So Yuruko and Teruya really are innocent? I've been telling you that since the start.
I know that from a time standpoint we're suspicious, but Nikkei, aren't you being a bit cruel? Leave that attitude! You got a problem, Nikkei!
Now, let's stop the fighting. Now that our suspicion on Teruya and Yuruko's now that our suspicions on Teruya and Yuruko are clear, let's get back to the case.
I wonder what the liquid nitrogen was for. Although not for freezing, the culprit did probably use it, right? Seeing that they left it in the room. No, it's probably just a red herring.
A red herring? But the drum barrel had a label written liquid nitrogen on it.
Also, it would have been very tedious to bring that all the way up to the room, but...
I'm saying they probably just stuck that label to an empty barrel.
The barrel was not for carrying liquid nitrogen anyways. The angle of the label was suspicious as well.
Wait, then how did Kokoro get frozen?
It must be the Ice Women's curse after all. There's no other way that a person would suddenly freeze.
Of course it's not because of the curse, but how did Kokoro freeze? That's the question at hand. There was definitely a tool used to freeze Kokoro in the room, and that's... Here we go. Oh! We're mind zoned. Oh, it's the Hangman's matching tournament. Oh, right. I forgot. I was going to say 3 letters, but I forgot that some of them technically correspond to 2 letters in the English language. Wow, yikes. It's fine. This would definitely be me if I was playing, so I can't really... Okay, maybe not this bad. Did he die? Oh no. Oh, does it let you try again from the minigame? That's actually a nice quality of life thing, too. I wonder if the person who played this is actually a native Korean speaker. I wonder if they can actually read what's going on and that's how they translate it, or if they translate it after. And they're just like going off a guide. Be interesting to know. You know. It sounds like, I've been playing Origami King, and there's Shy Guys who hit you with fans in, one of the dungeons. It just sounds like that. Actually, the same fans were in, I think Melee? Smash Melee? Where you could have the fan and just go and smack people with them. It just reminds me of that for some reason.
It's probably the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The refrigerator? The culprit froze Kokoro...
That's a bit morbid.
The culprit froze Kokoro with a refrigerator?
Excluding the liquid nitrogen, the only thing we're left with that's capable of freezing someone is the refrigerator, but...
Is there any proof the refrigerator was used?
Proof the refrigerator was used to freeze Kokoro. Now you can say something, Kanade. Now we actually want to hear your opinion. Even though you'd probably be sassy about it. Again. Oh, I would have gone with the icicles. But you know what? That probably makes more sense.
The refrigerator divider in Kokoro's room was a bit loose. Perhaps it's because the culprit had taken the divider out to put Kokoro in, then placed the divider back.
Kokoro's quite small, so if they squeezed her right in, she's definitely going to fit.
Squeeze in? Watch your words! Not to mention the refrigerator was set to instant freeze mode.
Which is a weird mode to have in a refrigerator.
If you've ever used it before, you should definitely know that it's enough to freeze a human being.
Wait, even if the output was set to instant freeze, freezing some leftovers and a whole human being are 2 different stories.
Monocrophile says she was frozen to the point where her cells suffered necrosis. If she was frozen that badly, that means the culprit left her in for at least a whole day.
Huh? Wait, that means Kokoro had to be in there since yesterday at lunchtime.
Yuki, when you were there with me and Teruya delivering Kokoro her meal, there was no answer, right?
Yeah, but Yuruka said the dinner was gone that night.
Yeah, somebody took it when they went to check on her.
That doesn't make any sense. Maybe Ruka was lying? Why would I lie about stuff like that? Why do you all hate me so much?
If the refrigerator theory is correct, that means Kokoro should have been inside the refrigerator last supper.
If Yuruko is the culprit.
Wait, Yuruko never visited Kokoro yesterday. She never had a chance to enter the room.
Then who delivered breakfast yesterday?
Me, Aroha, and Teruya. And you met up with Kokoro?
Yup, we chatted for quite a while. Kokoro even wrote LOL on her iPad. It was such a lovely time. I'll remember LOL for the rest of my life.
Well, that means she was at least alive until then.
Who was there for lunch?
Me, Kanade, Shin, and Mr. Teruya.
And did you guys meet Kokoro?
Of course, she complained about 4 people being too many.
Wait, it's getting too complicated. Can somebody summarize it, please?
Ruh-roh, can you give me a piece of paper from your sketchbook?
My sketchbook being used in a trial? Okay.
Oh my god, it's a diagram. Okay. Kokoro got sick. Kokoro not around. Because not available. I don't know. Emma only went one time. It's weird. It's interesting. Although my gut says that this is pointless. If we summarize what we talked about, this is our result. Wow. Yeah, I just realized that this is kind of like it's a nice little way for Aroha to show off her talent. Anyway.
Setsuka, your drawings are adorable, and you drew such a good summary.
Oh, I thought this is Setsuka's drawing? Never mind. This is Setsuka showing off her talent.
I hereby name you the Taking Notes Master. Setsuka, you're good at studying, right? Do you mind helping me with my math homework?
Enough with my drawing. Let's think about the flow of the case with this.
If we simply think about this, Kokoro didn't answer since last night. That means something's definitely happened then.
Does that mean the visitors right before then, Shinji Teruya and the twins together are the culprit? What? Why are we the culprit?
I doubt that 4 people were accomplices, especially when the chances of there being even one accomplice are close to 0. But according to Yuki, somebody must have killed Kokoro after lunch and before supper yesterday.
Well, now I'm suspicious of Kanade.
And my reasoning for that is because she pointed out not only the fridge, but she also pointed out that weird icicle message that I feel like nobody would have been able to see. And I thought it was just the game being like, yeah, Kanade's a secret detective genius again, but maybe she's leading us in a direction. Wait, that's impossible. I told you. It's impossible to enter Kokoro's room when it's not mealtime. That's a rule Kokoro chose herself.
And I saw her dinner disappear, so she should have been alive since then in the first place, right?
But that doesn't give enough time to freeze Kokoro.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, Shinji.
This means that no one is capable of the murder. If somebody killed Kokoro, they obviously needed to first enter the room, and if it wasn't during our visits...
Wasn't during one of the visits.
I think the refrigerator is the root of this problem. Maybe the culprit didn't use the refrigerator after all?
No, considering the liquid nitrogen was just a red herring, there's no other way the culprit could have frozen Kokoro. No other clue. None.
But we only could have entered her room during mealtime.
It's a complete locked room mystery. This is hard.
You set this up. Should have known.
I honestly still can't wrap my head around what's going on.
I knew it! It was the Ice Woman!
Aroha, calm down.
Monocro, stop the trial right now! This isn't a murder, it's a curse!
And the class trial. I don't mind at all, but I assume that means you've given up on finding the culprit.
Well, that's not... I mean, does a culprit exist in the first place? Seems like it's impossible for everyone.
Is there any clue pointing towards a culprit? Even a small hint could set us back on the right path.
Oh my god, it's you. I never want to see you that close to the screen again. Ah!
The culprit exists. This is a case where if you think about the method first, it's more difficult.
Well, if you already know, then just tell us, Kanade.
And how about we break this thought process by figuring out the culprit first?
So we're looking for what? Motive or opportunity?
The evidence pointing towards the culprit. I'm sure you know it, Sora.
You're talking about your specific icicle message.
I have high hopes for you, Sora, so I'll help you out.
Yeah, I'll help you out right to the trash. Anyway. I don't remember this minigame. Never mind, I remember it. Oh my god, this is so overwhelming. The final clue that Kokoro left. That's it. On her dying breath. The clue clearly points to the culprit. I'm sure you know about it, Sora. It's the icicles. Do the icicles. A quote-unquote dying message. Well, it's definitely not a bag of dry ice.
That's right, Sora. She left us a bag of dry ice.
You got it.
It was always about the dry ice.
We should call this case the dry ice murder. This still hasn't been brought up yet, so I'm kind of confused about where that's going to be used, but... That's it, the dying message. The dying message that Kokoro left. If we figure that out, we can find out who the culprit is. Another reason I'm so suspicious of this dying message is, one, it's inscribed on goddamn icicles. And, like, I know if she was in there, how could an icicle form big enough that she could write on that it wouldn't break? And two, if she was freezing to death, you'd think her, like, dexterity would be down to the point that she wouldn't be able to carve anything that we'd be able to read.
Yep, that's it.
Dying, what's what again? What?
It's a hint that the killer left by the victim on their last breath. It's a hint at the killer left by the victim. There we go. And you said there was a dying message? That would have been good to know earlier.
Yes, the icicles inside the refrigerator. They look like normal icicles, but if you look closely, there are letters written on them. Hold on. Oh, I missed it. Actually, hold on. Traces that look to be someone's nail marks, presumably Kokoro's. Also, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, Nikke's face looking at Sora as me right now, like, what? F-O? The two of them are stuck together. Wait, is one penetrating the other?
So what does this mean? Yeah, who's F?
A dying message should be more intuitive. This feels like it's some sort of code or something. It's very easy, actually. I already identified the culprit using it. What? Kanade, you know who the culprit is?
Who is it? This is the second time somebody said this during the trial.
And that I'm going to explain right now with this dying message.
But we don't know what it means.
Kanade, we're inclined to hear your explanation.
Of course. If we first point out the culprit, then find out the trick they used, it'll be much easier. Now, this icicle. It looks like they're randomly placed, but there are exactly 8 of them. On each end, F and O are written on them. If you look closely here, 2 of them are stuck together, just like Nikke said. The penetrated icicle is different from the others, as it has I, or L, I'm pretty sure it's I because they're all capitals, written on it instead of O. So that means...
Is I like Kokoro?
F stands for female.
O stands for Otori. Teruya.
There are 8 icicles and 8 of us.
What? There are not 8 of you.
O stands for others.
So I literally stands for I, as in myself?
Even I figured that out.
Yep. Looks like you at least got a pretty smart brain there, Yuki.
I'll take that as a compliment.
One of the 7 O's is penetrating I.
Others.
Considering that it was Kokoro who made this, we can interpret this message as, one of the 7 girls killed me.
Whoa, so the culprit's a female?
Thanks, Shinji. Wait, that alone doesn't pinpoint the culprit at all. All we can get from that is the killer's a girl.
Well, we can take one step further to deduce the killer's identity as well.
What do you mean?
Look carefully at the icicles. They all seem similar, but...
I think she meant there were 8 girls left. Not 8 of them in total.
The I icicle that penetrated the O icicle? The killer's icicle is significantly longer than the other ones.
So what, are you saying the tallest girl is the murderer?
Keeping up the theory that these icicles represent us girls, the lengths of these icicles are probably analogous to our height. Somebody please summarize this for me.
It means you're not the killer, Iroha. Are you proposing this? The tallest out of the females is the killer?
Huh? That's the solution to the dying message? That seems really complicated. So she's the culprit?
I don't know who the tallest one is. I'm assuming it's either Emma or... I don't know. All the... It's Mikado, yeah. Yeah, Emma.
The tallest out of the female students. Emma Magarobi. Are you the one? What? What?
Oh, he's gonna start crying. Oh, wow.
What?
Class trial suspended. Class trial returned.
I guess that was like... Oh, yeah. Class trial suspended means the halfway point. So I guess we're gonna get a little bit more than halfway through the trial today. Honestly, these trials aren't very long, and I like that. I like something that's concise, because it makes it less annoying.
Emma, the person that the dying message points to is you.
What? Emma's the culprit? How come? Sora, why would Emma be the killer?
I don't know exactly. It's just that's the solution to the dying message that Kanade told... Or I solved the dying message Kanade told me to. If the tallest person out of the girls is the culprit, then that's Emma.
Yeah, but still.
How could you? Sora, I'm trying to be my honest best to find out who the culprit is who killed Kokoro. And you're saying I'm the culprit? Even if you're joking, that's going a bit too far.
Oh, okay, yep. Rah-rah. Regardless of the dying message, I also agree this is a bit... Emma was Kokoro's best friend. Not to mention she was the most upset out of all of us when Kokoro died.
She's also the ultimate actor. Yeah. Personally, I agree this is going too far ahead. We don't have any decisive clues either.
Maybe our interpretation of the dying message was just wrong?
Are you a bunch of idiots?
What'd you say? Oh, man.
My interpretation is as sound as can be. Once we decide that Emma's the culprit, all the mysteries will make sense. Like that Emma Frost connection. How dare you? Why would you think that I...
Candy?
Kanade, you're being mean to M. There's no way M could be... Sis? Would you please just shut up? If you're no use, you should at least try not to get in the way, alright? Eek, Kanade!
Yeah, she's evil. Even if she's not a void, she's still evil. Just be glad you're on the other side of the circle, Sora.
It seems to me Miss Kanade has already solved the case. We should just vote, right? But, judging to the reaction, it feels like a delusion from Miss Little Sis.
I love that. See, this is why I like Nikkei.
Delusion? Kanade, what's wrong?
She's going psycho. You know what? The second case is also usually the one where the serial killer / murderer is revealed. Maki, Peko. Actually, you know, Peko is an assassin. She is a killer. Toko. I don't like that face.
Yes?
You alone believe my reasoning, right? So we can be friends. Let's murder all these other people. I believe you can figure out how Emma did it without my explanation.
Just give us the explanation, asshole.
If you're lost, I can give you a hint.
Ooh.
Emma's talent, her ultimate talent is the key to this.
Yeah, acting. Little Miss Actor. Let's try out Kanade's suggestion. Instead of solving the crime method to seduce the culprit, let's assume the culprit and work from there. Let's first pinpoint the culprit, then solve how they did it. Alright, let's focus. Everybody get into focus mode. Ooh. So I was right. Maybe. Or maybe Kanade really did do it and she's just insane. Did I see this one before? I don't think I did. Is this Space Invaders? No, not really. It's like... it's like Space Tetris. Actually, it's more like Evil Tetris. Oh, no! Wow, that's some generous invincibility frames. But that's fine. After all, it was a visual novel game. Honestly, I'd be happier if... Why would you do that? Oh, wait, is it like... I feel like the controls must be bad because they didn't stop moving at any time during that. What is Emma Megarobi's ultimate talent? Ultimate wizard? Oh, well, now they've stopped moving somewhat. Oh, okay, that's a little bit easier. I don't think this one was in the last one. Or maybe they just skipped it. Because I definitely would have seen this. I can see why they'd skip it, though, because there's no content here. I mean, there's, like, slight deduction, but it's just like the, Logic Dive or the Crazy Taxi. It's like, really obvious stuff, just an excuse for a minigame. Which, again, it's fine. The minigames are kind of important in Danganronpa because they break up all the garbage. They keep you from being bogged down. And while we're doing all this, I can talk about how this actually... What does the ultimate actress do? Act. Wait, that's actually the answer? Oh my god. I guess the word's probably different in Korean. It's not literally actress. I'm not surprised Emma did it. I'm just surprised at how we're going about finding out that she did it. Because honestly, one of the things that kind of frustrates me in some Danganronpa games, like I'm talking about V3, I'm making a video about it right now, is like Tsumugi's the ultimate cosplayer, and spoiler alert, that talent never gets used before the end of the game. Like she like never uses it for a case. It's really kind of annoying. Like even if she wasn't going to be a culprit, I'm trying to be the least spoilery I can be. But even if she wasn't going to be a culprit or a victim or anything, she could still have used it during a case. Disguise? That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking like, fake her emotions, maybe fake her voice. But I guess there was that whole bit with the costume room, so maybe that does make sense. So she's like ultimate impostoring it up. That's the other one that never uses their talent, which would have been really interesting and neat. Although, the ultimate imposter's kind of it's kind of a joke character in a way. Emma's talent. With the talent of ultimate actress, wouldn't it be possible for her to act as someone else?
What do you mean?
Our firmer reasoning was denied because Kokoro's dorm room was locked and we all had alibis for that period. But what if what if the Kokoro we met was in fact not the actual Kokoro? Oh no. What? What if it was Emma disguised as Kokoro? Why is that in maybe that's like quotation marks, because I know that quotation marks are different, but... And if Kokoro had been already dead, then the deed is possible. Yeah, because we didn't find the body when we were in there. Also, Kokoro doesn't really seem like the type to use LOL. I just thought it was because she was like a computer person, but... That would explain why Kokoro's clothes are missing. That's... You mean Kokoro we met was actually Emma? But... Sora, are you insulting my ultimate talent in that way? I'd take it as more of a compliment, even though it's... No, it's not an insult. Not only setting me up for murdering my friend, but also even ruining my talent.
Calm down, Emmy. I know how you feel, but... How can I even calm down after hearing like that? I just wanted to avenge Kokoro. So I tried my best, but boo-hoo.
Okay, nobody says boo-hoo unless they're acting.
No, I didn't mean to.
Sora, I think you went too far.
She's swaying us with her talent right now.
I'm sorry, but I can't believe Emma's the killer. So, Sora, let's think again. Maybe Kanade might have made a mistake. This is too harsh for Emma.
Ah! Nightmare!
I made a mistake.
Stupid you. Oh god, it's getting worse.
I didn't know you were all the same level with my sister. Disappointing. How dare you? Let's be quiet, huh, Habiki? I told you I'll solve this for you. Why do you keep being so cocky? Unless Habiki only has to hear me and rely on me. You know that, don't you? Minori, why? You're so scary.
Okay, she said boo-hoo and she wasn't acting. So maybe it's just a normal thing.
Aside from Kanade's intimidating face, I also believe that it's unfair to accuse him as the killer without any special reason.
No.
Okay, Yuki, what do you got for us?
I'll believe Kanade and Sora's reasoning.
Oh, I take this side too because I got something sparkling after hearing that.
It's too harsh. Too harsh. Simmer down a little, everyone. You're gonna boil over. This trust trial is a sacred, honorable place for competing wisdom. So any conflict has to be resolved with discussion.
I'm sorry for Emma, but this case can't be solved unless Kanade is right.
So let's calm down and gradually share our opinions. It's scrum debate time, right? It seems how everybody was like, I'm on this side.
No, I'm on this side.
But we're going against all our friends again. Can't we just have one scrum debate where we're on the side of our friends? I guess we were on Yuruko's side last time. I was happy about that. Ew. Wait, Shobai? Hi. Forgot you were here. Oh. That's like all the people I like. Dang. Minus Emma. Sorry. Not sorry. This is like all the people I don't like. Even Yuki. I gotta be honest. Yuki, like, did not leave as well of an impression on me as I thought.
I was always with you, so I had no time to disguise.
Is that Kanade? I can't tell. I'm guessing it is.
How do we know that when you weren't with us for the whole 24 hours?
What's Abiki gonna say?
I'm sorry. If Emmy's the killer, there's no need for such a big effort as disguise. If you hear all my reasoning, then you'll understand why you had to disguise.
Wow, is Kanade just gonna take these all?
Kokoro. We met was actually Kokoro, without a doubt. Wouldn't it be hard to act somebody else so perfectly?
She's the ultimate actor, shouldn't she?
To act is her ultimate talent, isn't it?
It's like saying, you can't put out fire, Shinji.
Even if she had perfectly imitated the appearance, she couldn't have imitated the voice.
She wasn't talking.
Kokoro didn't make a voice because of the disease, so that's no problem.
Kokoro and Emma have different heights. Is it hard to disguise as one another?
Kokoro didn't get out of her bed. We had no chance of checking her height.
You can still kind of tell, but whatever.
Even so, this case isn't closed without a way to enter her dorm room.
A way to enter her dorm room may exist, just yet to be discovered. It's weird seeing Mikado from this side.
Crouchbind.
I like how Abiki's like super confident in this scrum debate, but in the actual trial she's like,
Kanade.
Shobai didn't even say anything, wait. He was just there. He's like,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just sleeping over here. Don't worry about me. The writers of this game didn't want to write me dialogue for trials, so they just said I should sit them out. And you know what? I'm okay with that. But, wait. There's no end if we keep going like this.
I never expected Sora would come like this.
Sora, if she's a murderer, you don't have to feel bad.
So, will we ever stop arguing? You people gonna band together your 7 brain cells and figure this out? If you assume my reasoning is true, then you'll realize that the tears are totally fake as the trial progresses.
Kana, you're being too harsh.
No, I'm not. She's a murderer. Okay, fine. Let's assume that the disguise is possible. Even if that is the case, what does it mean in the first place? There should be a way to enter Kokuro's dorm room for Kanade's reasoning to be valid.
You can say that again. Kokuro's dorm room is allowed for only Kokuro herself. Whether disguised or not, someone else except Kokuro would have definitely no way to enter the dorm room unless Kokuro herself opened the door. Right? Right? This is what we were told at the beginning, right?
Yes. In this case, the biggest problem is the method of entering Kokuro's room.
I feel bad for Yuruko, having to stand next to Kanade. Like, also Hibiki, who has to live with her for her entire life, but less so.
Whatever the trick the killer had used, he or she should have entered Kokuro's room before murdering her.
There were only 3 chances for us to enter her room.
You mean the meal times, right?
See this? We're going round in circles. It's no use to discuss about the disguise in the first place.
What are you talking about, everyone? We definitely had the chance.
When we entered Kokuro's dorm room without ever asking her permission. You mean we entered her room besides the visitations?
Kanade seems to know so much more. I wish you would just tell us. Let's listen to her more then. Oh god. The instant way to make me hate your character is when they know everything but will not tell you. Byakuya. Even Kyoko did that. But at least Kyoko had like a turnaround, right? At the end. Byakuya didn't though.
When do you mean we entered Kokuro's dorm room?
I'm not talking at the very start, right? Wait! Was I right? It wasn't Kokuro faking her illness, though. It was Emma? Did we really not? No, because she... Wait. Oh my god, this is so much effort.
We definitely did, after our performance when she fell down so suddenly. At that time, we used her student handbook to open the door.
Right. We used her fingerprints to pass the locking device and open the door. But Kokuro was still alive at that time. There's no means of entering her room.
What if someone took her student handbook then, in the middle of the night? And what if she left the dorm room with the student handbook? Then she can enter the dorm room freely without any hindrance.
And you mean that one is me?
Surely Kanade's words make sense, but is that all? The mystery of the locked dorm room. There must be an evidence related to this among what I found. This is when we're going to talk about how they severed her hand so they could use it to enter her room. Oh god. And then to cover it up, they used the Ice Woman myth to make it less suspicious that like one of her hands was spontaneously missing. Which is actually very smart. But also really gross to go to that length. I think the video is going to end really quick here. Let's see. Yep. Well, I guess we'll find out next time how Emma did it. I'm not entirely surprised it was her. Like, I did predict it. But I am kind of surprised to be right. Because usually when I make a prediction, it's something like, you know, Kaido's the murderer. That was a great running joke in V3. But yeah, if you did enjoy, you can leave a like and subscribe, and I am going to keep playing this, so you will see the whole thing eventually. I think that's pretty much all I gotta say. So yeah, see you later. Have a good one.